I'm still waiting for your sign. Yeah.
Right.
You're ready?
Yeah.
Okay. People online are there? Yes, great. Okay. Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon and a very warm welcome to our side event at the 33rd Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice here in Vienna. Also, a warm welcome to our online attendees from all over the world. Thanks so much. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, thank you for being here today. The name of our side event today is Strong Family, an Essential Support for Healthy Development of Children and Youth, a relevant factor in preventing criminal activity. So we were excited to also notice that today is actually also the International Day of the Family. So a good day to promote the strength of the family and how it benefits our societies. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our Director of the Women's Federation for World Peace, UN Team Vienna office, Dr. Maria Hill, and she will give a word of greeting.
Yeah, thank you again for coming, dear friends, dear excellencies, and dear co-worker. 2 days, now is third day of this big conference of Commission on Crime Prevention and Social Justice. And first days we listened to many to reports from the governments, and we could participate on some side events, huge associations, how to deal with crime. Today is a special day of the family. And today we wish to look at the smallest unit in our society, in the family. What can family offer to the society? What can we, like parents, like mothers and fathers and siblings, daughters, uncles and aunties, offer to the society that we feel secure, we feel understood. We can talk about our world, about our challenges, about everything what we receive through newsletters, through information. We are living in a world with so many information are going around, and on the end, we come together and we are watching and listening to our children and asking them, how was it doing? And on this way, we can learn to communicate with each other, we can learn to understand each other, and we can give the word of happiness and something very, very personal for the community, the whole kind of relationships. We can learn and we can experience how to take care of each other. When children are hurt themselves, so they always look for somebody. Mama, where are you? Papa, please help me. So, and we can hug them and we can put some plaster on the wound. And we can say, after a couple of days, until you get married, everything will be good. Sometimes I listen like this. So, greetings from to you, and I give your faith to you, Kyung-in, that we can listen to the other speakers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Naya, for your words of greeting and explaining about the dynamics of the family and the beauty of it. Thank you so much. So we're going to go to the opening remarks, which will be extended by Your Excellency Etli Daryl General Lugano. Thank you for being here, Ms. Lugano. She's the attaché and assistant of the Permanent Mission of the Philippines. We want to thank the Mission of the Philippines for supporting our side event. Thank you so much. And
to those who are joining us here today, as well as our participants online, let me wish you good afternoon. I wish to convey my appreciation to the Women's Federation for World Peace for the invitation to be part of this important event on the margins of the 33rd session of the Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, CCPCJ. It is with great honor to open this afternoon's side event on a topic of profound significance: strong family, an essential support for healthy development of children and youth, a relevant factor in preventing criminal activity. The family, often described as the cornerstone of society, plays a pivotal role in shaping the future of our children. It is within the family unit that children first learn about love, trust, and security. A strong family provides the emotional foundation that children and youth need to navigate the complexities of life. It is a source of unwavering support, guiding them through challenges and celebrating their successes. In today's fast-paced world, the importance of a stable and nurturing family environment cannot be overstated. Research consistently shows that children who grow up in supportive families tend to perform better academically, exhibit healthier behaviors, and develop stronger social skills. They are more likely to become resilient adults who contribute positively to society. As we explore this topic further, we will discuss how strong family bonds to foster a sense of belonging and self-worth in young individuals, the critical role of parental involvement in education, and the impact of family support on mental and emotional health. In the Philippines, our Constitution provides the legal framework to support a strong family unit. Parents are fundamentally responsible for raising their child and providing the basic necessities of food, clothing, shelter, as well as ensuring the child's right to education and providing a safe environment where the child's physical, emotional, and psychological well-being are nurtured. The state may intervene in cases of neglect or abuse where the parents fail to meet their constitutional obligations. Together, let us reaffirm our commitment to strengthening family ties and ensuring that every child has the opportunity to thrive in a loving and supportive environment. As I end, I wish to congratulate WFWP for organizing this important side event, which is a timely reminder of the vital role that strong families play in a healthy development of children and youth. On behalf of Ambassador Evangelina Lourdes Bernas, I thank you once again and wish everyone a productive discussion.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, yes, the importance of the family, it's very important that the states of the world also recognize that and implement it in their structures. So thank you so much. We're going to go to our first speaker of today, Mr. Patrick Erlandson. It will be a video message. He is the founder of FatherCom. He used to work in prevention of human trafficking. One moment, please. Yeah. So he has been working for many years in prevention of human trafficking in LA, in Los Angeles, America. And yes, through listening to the stories of survivors, he noticed the link between parenthood and especially fatherhood and victims that he talked to. So that's how he founded FatherCom to address the link between fathers and human trafficking. And we will explain here a little bit more. Our speakers with the video messages are also online. So thank you so much, Patrick, for being here. And let's listen to your video message.
Greetings from Los Angeles, excellencies and friends. My deep gratitude to Women's Federation for World Peace and their partners for all you do for families around the world and for being so welcoming of me as a husband, father of 2 girls, and recently a grandfather of a beautiful little boy. The experience of becoming a grandfather, seeing my little girl as a mom, is truly a wonder of continuity, of standing at the intersection of the past, present, and future in a very different way than as a parent. I have to admit, though, that for all the wonderful emotions rushing back with memories of changing baby diapers and having that familiar soggy spot on my shoulder from baby drool, I also feel a sad awareness that too many men never make it through the ups and downs of marriage to reach this place of amplified joy. I've been invigorated to work even harder to reach more men with the message of FatherCon, that what we are so often told will make us happy doesn't hold a candle to loving and being loved as a father. My organization, FatherCon, was born out of 8 years of working on the prevention of human trafficking and recognizing that in too many survivor stories and the testimonies of those who used their freedom to deprive others of theirs, there was a father missing or causing hurt in some other way. I began to realize that when fathers get it right, so many other things fall into place. Wives and children are healthier and stronger. When a father is engaged with his kids, playing with them and allowing them to step out on walls and jump from trees, the world becomes a little less scary and threatening, and people are not all dangerous. This may seem a strange thing to say for someone who's worked for 12 years on the prevention of human trafficking and who has heard horror stories of dangers to children that I wish I didn't know. But it is important. We are designed as human beings to live in a very different world than what we are in now. Threats to children have only increased and become more deadly and destructive with the easy access to children provided by the internet, social media, and AI. But for all the reasons we have to be afraid, fear will not protect our children from the monsters, not under our beds or in shadows, but hunting for them with promises of love and money, and delivering only a damaged identity and hopeless resignation of abuse and being used. The antidote is a stronger identity and confidence of being loved. When a father tells his daughter daily she's beautiful and loved, the hollow proclamations of a predator lose their force. When a child grows up trusting in the presence of a father, that child has more empathy, a greater sense of being worthy of love, and appreciates education and resists harmful behavior. To achieve such homes, we need to inspire fathers, provide support to heal and maintain a priority on the family and children, and change our measure in society of success from material stuff and status to championing the heart of men as parents, the heart of the father or father figure. Harvard has conducted the longest study ever of human happiness and health, spanning 85 years of interviews, DNA sampling, and life achievements. Their conclusion? That human happiness is the result of long-lasting relationships, of family and friends that endure. Viktor Frankl said, "Happiness cannot be pursued, but must ensue. It is the fruit of how we live, not the fruit to be stolen and enjoyed alone, and then leaves us wanting more and more and more." We therefore must not be overwhelmed by the threats our children face, but provide the antidote. Jack Reynolds spent 12 years in prison for molesting 300 children, and upon his release, he was asked what kind of children he targeted. He replied that it was not the type of child so much, but if I thought the father was a threat, I wouldn't approach the child. I once was speaking with a survivor of years of being trafficked, with all the horror of that experience, and I asked her about her childhood and how she came to be trafficked. I asked, what would have made the difference for you? What did you want as a child? She answered without hesitation that she wanted to see her father love her mother. Sometimes it's not in the dramatic acts that we provide the greatest protection for our kids. Of course, we need to understand the threats, the tactics used, the red flags that disclose methods used by predators who sneak into our homes through digital screens so that our sons and our daughters can see through their lies. We need to become wise in how to deal with children being exposed to violent, humiliating, and racist pornography, which hijacks the natural curiosity of children and provides them scripts they come to believe they must follow to find the bliss promised in unrealistic videos. We need to understand, yes, but not lose sight of what makes sense to a child, of what makes the world make sense. FatherCon provides such a balance of what parents need to know about the world their children are growing up in, and the inspiration for men to rise to the challenge of trustworthiness their children need. Much is being done and successes are happening with legislation, law enforcement, and social programs providing wraparound services, age verification for access to adult porn, and guarantees of consensual content have been legislated in 8 states in the US, and more countries and states are looking to pass laws that will cripple the reach of an industry that fuels exploitation. But the real battle is to be won in the home, in our families, in the support and resources provided that keep fathers present and finding their success and joy as parents. At FatherCon, our vision and work is to see loving, engaged fathers at the core of every family unit and support for all those serving in the role of father figures, and to see more fathers reach grandfatherhood. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, Patrick, and greetings from Vienna. Yes, so the important role of fathers, and like you said, when fathers get it right, so many other things fall into place. So thank you for your hard work, and we hope to welcome you again to Vienna sometime soon. Yes, then it's my honor to introduce our next speaker of today, Mrs. Veronica Lippert. She is a chairperson of Elternwerkstatt, which kind of means like parents working group, I would say, for the non-German speaking online and here. So she's a mother of 3, pedagogue, conflict management trainer, and certified parent trainer. And she will be speaking on communication training for parents in her work with Elternwerkstatt. So thank you for being here. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Parent education is the leap from knowledge directly to the heart. Parent education is violence prevention. We would like to express our gratitude and appreciation to the Women's Federation for World Peace. It is a great honor and pleasure for us to be here today and to be able to speak about this important issue. Parent education as a decisive factor in the prevention of violence and the strengthening of families remarkable close to our hearts. As the motto of Elternwerkstatt, Parents Workshop, so aptly sums it up, if the parent doing well, so are the children. Thinking further, families are doing well, society is doing well. Unfortunately, violence amongst children is reported increasingly. Children learn what they are taught to by example. When a child grows up in an environment of violence, whether physical or psychological, they often become violent themselves. Violence by children against children is a fundamental problem that should be not ignored. It is a vicious cycle where we have to actively work against in order to reduce it in our society. Violence often begins in a small scale, in the form of bullying and assault among children. It is important to intervene in time and to show our exemplify to the children how to resolve conflicts in a non-violent way. Numerous reports from Austrian schools paint a worrying picture. Whether in Vienna, Graz, or Innsbruck, or other cities, children are victims of violence by their peers. The number of unreported cases is high, as many victims remain silent out of fear or shame. The effects of violence among children are devastating. Psychology, trauma, anxiety, social dissolutions, and even suicidal thoughts can be the result. Violence by children against children is an alarm sign that something is wrong in our society. We can see this extremely well in the current situation of our world. Violence among children is a global problem. Parenting is a universal experience that exists all over the world. Therefore, parent education could be seen worldwide as a peace project. It requires our attention and action to ensure that children can thrive in a safe and respectful environment. Children should never have to be afraid going to school, moving around playground grounds, and even go home. We must work together to foster a culture of non-violence and respect. As parents, it is our responsibility to be aware of responsive to our children's emotional needs. If we ignore our children's feelings, we risk making them feel misunderstood and abandoned. This can lead children to seek alternative ways to deal with their emotions. Common ways for neglected children to escape are digital illusions. Their suppressed feelings can turn into aggression towards others or themselves. By using mobile phones, computer games, and social media, children can escape from reality and find the necessary appropriation in virtual world. This digital distraction provides short-term gratification and cause children to suppress their real problems and emotions instead of coping with them or learning to deal with them. It is important to understand that escaping into digital illusions or aggression is not a permanent solution to children's emotional needs. Instead of fighting the symptoms, we as parents should recognize the cause of our children's behavior and address them. By giving our children the attention, love, and support they need, we can help them develop healthy coping mechanisms and feel safe and secure in the real world. John F. Kennedy once said, education begins at home. Parent education is the key to children's education. Parents are the first teachers of their children. We are role models for our children in everything. When parents learn how to best support their children, we all benefit. Therefore, parental education plays a significant role in creating a positive environment for our children and for our society. Think of parental education as an extensive toolbox filled with diverse tools. These tools allow parents to expand and develop their own skills and knowledge in different areas. It is important to emphasize that parental education is not only of great relevance to the children, but also has a positive impact on the parents themselves. By participating in parent education courses, parents are given the opportunity not only to be better understanding the children's needs and stage of development, to gain insight into different parenting methods and communication techniques, but also to reflect on their own role as an educator. Through this progress of increasing self-awareness, parents can better recognize their own strength and weakness and become more aware to the parenting methods. A central aspect of parenting education is the promotion of a relaxed upbringing. Parents learn how to deal with stress and the often daily upcoming challenging situation of the family. They learn how to perceive and regulate their needs and emotions to interact with the children in a more relaxed and empathetic way. This results in more positive and harmonious family atmosphere in which both children and parents feel comfortable. These new or reactivate skills strengthen the parent-child relationship and promote mutual trust and understanding. Children benefit from the positive interaction and develop healthy self-esteem and emotional stability. Parents are the experts for their children. We, the Elternwerkstatt, have tools to better manage the challenge of everyday life. This creates an environment in which children feel safe and which negative patterns of behaviors and violence will get less and less. Parent education thus contributes to the development of nonviolent behavior in children and promotes respectfully coexistence beyond the family life. Parents are supposed to be authentic and not perfect. This is the only way children learn about feelings, about others, and themselves. Parent education goes further than teaching parenting methods. It sentences parents to various forms of violence and promote awareness of the importance of values such as respect, tolerance, and empathy. If children know about their own feelings, needs, and abundance, they are able to recognize and respect them in others. By exemplifying their values in their own behavior and activity, combined them to their children, parents lay the foundation for non-violent coincidence and positive relationships. Children learn to resolve conflicts peacefully, to respect the feelings of others, and to take responsibility for their own actions. Once this behavior is natural for them, they have to risk habits to become competent adults. Children are the music of the future, and this future is composed in the here and now by their education. The positive effects of parent education go far beyond the level of individual families. In families, children learn to argue because that is part of being together. However, we should argue in such a way that the dignity of the other person is not violated. Verbalizing feelings, even if it's not so easy, it is the first step in learning solutions strategies. Children who grew up in an environment free of condemning and reproachful language are less likely to engage in aggressive behaviors and instead develop positive and value-generating conflict resolution strategies. This leads in the reduction of violence and aggression in society as a whole and promoted successful coincidence. Children who grow up in a stable family develop into self-confident and responsible members of society who actively contribute to a positive living together. Parent education plays a key role in strengthening children's self-esteem and self-confidence. Parents learn how to show appreciation for their children and support them in their strengths and talents. This helps children develop a positive image of themselves and learn to deal with challenges and setbacks. Children with healthy self-esteem are less susceptible to negative influence and develop into confident and empathic adults. In this way, they become resilient to the challenge of life. A healthy family life fostered by parents' education is the base of a stable and balanced society. In families where love, respect, and mutual support are lived, all members feel safe and secure. Strong and stable families are an important building block for a society in which violence and aggression do not stand a chance, and in which mutual understanding and compensation are paramount. The philosopher Confucius, 500 years before Christ, said so aptly, "Peace begins in our own heart." That's in our families. Parent education as a violent prevention. Parent education as an investment in the future of our children and therefore in our society. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lippert, for this, for describing how healthy family dynamics are really serving society, also a really psychological perspective. Thank you so much. I'm sure you also have a lot to tell about your daily practice at work.
Yeah.
Perhaps people can ask themselves. Also, for the people online, we have here like bios printed about the backgrounds of our speakers, but if you, we cannot provide it online this time. But if you would wish to know more about our speakers online, please feel free to contact us and we will provide this information to you. So from Vienna, we go to Kenya. Our next speaker is also online, Mrs. Lilian Nyangasi. Welcome, Lilian. Lilian is a lawyer and youth advocate, and she's also the co-founder of Set Free to Thrive. And she prepared a video message. As a lawyer, she offers legal aid to victims and survivors of crime and human trafficking. And yes, this her nonprofit organization is dedicated to combating modern slavery and crime. So Lilian prepared a very nice video for us and describing all the work that they are doing there in Kenya. So let us listen to Lilian.
Hello and good day everyone. My name is Lilian Nyangasi. I'm an attorney working as an advocate in the Republic of Kenya. I also am a co-founder and a director of Set Free to Thrive, an organization working to combat human trafficking and crime amongst young people in Kenya within East Africa. Set Free to Thrive has many program areas and activities, and all of them are aimed towards preventing crime and human trafficking. One of our program areas is to create awareness against human trafficking, against crime, and other social ills. We believe that an educated mind is a mind that is able to protect itself. We do this by going into schools and other public forums like youth camps and churches to teach young boys and girls as well as the older generation. Apart from this, we also run a program to reach out to school-going children, because in several countries in the global south, persons or children who are of school-going age, immediately they attain their menstrual age, some of them will drop out of school or will miss schools for several days because of being unable to afford sanitary towels. So with the menstrual health management program, we provide them with reusable and sustainable sanitary kits that they can use for up to 36 months, that is 3 years, if they are well taken care of. And with this, we assure that we can keep girls in school. We also have a program that reaches out to teenage mothers. Ever since the COVID era, several countries around Africa have experienced a surge in teenage pregnant mothers on the basis that during the COVID era, most of them were not able to attend school and they mostly stayed at home. And this led to a high dropout of schools. Therefore, we reach out to this special group because they are specifically disadvantaged by their age, by their social status, and economic vulnerability. So by reaching out to them, we can keep them safe and protected from human trafficking and as well as crime. We also run our Thrive Junior groups, which mainly comprise of teenage boys and girls who are grouped according to where they live. Most of them do live in slums and village areas, and so that they can continuously and constantly meet so that we can keep them accountable, we can monitor them, we can mentor them, and equip them with the skills required for them to lead wherever they go in preventing crime and also protecting themselves against human trafficking. The teenage groups meet at least twice a month, and they do this just to create a safe space for one another. We also have another program where we offer legal aid to victims and survivors of human trafficking and also of crime. Today, I would like to speak about one of the most important tools in fighting and preventing crime amongst young people. And this is the role of positive family relations. In our grassroots activities and experiences, we have noticed that young people who belong to families which nurture positive relations are much less likely to indulge in crime. This is because in families, values, standard behaviors, and also principles of behavior are clearly communicated. So young people will clearly understand from a relatively young age what are the do's and don'ts in a community. And not only that, but also young people in families, then they learn to look up to positive role models in their parents, in their elder siblings, and also in extended family members. And with this, they grow up and they learn at a relatively young age what is acceptable conduct in societies and what is unacceptable. Also, families are avenues for monitoring and supervising young people. Young people who belong to families that are responsible enough, they can monitor their activities, their associations, their friends, where they're hanging out, and also who they're looking up to. With this kind of monitoring, then families will be able to detect any criminal tendencies or criminal behaviors in their children or in their siblings at an early age, thus will now intervene to make sure that these criminal tendencies do not grow into fully blown criminal conduct. And with this, families can prevent crime in their young people at a young age. Families are also very important forums that keep young people accountable. After values and standards of behavior have been communicated to young people within the confines of families, then families will also tend to enforce the same. This can be through positive reinforcement where good behavior is rewarded and bad behavior is reprimanded. So when young people realize that the authority structure in families is enforceable and it's cogent, then the young people learn at a relatively young age to respect authority. Therefore, they learn to also avoid run-ins with authority, which could be the law enforcement agencies of a country or any other institution that is charged with the responsibility of enforcing law. In Swahili, we have a saying that goes that umoja ni nguvu. What this means is that unity is strength. Therefore, let us come together and create strong families where we can nurture young people to be free from crime and also create a new generation of responsible and accountable leaders. Thank you.
Lillian, thank you so much for this beautiful video message. Very clear, so I don't feel I have to add anything. And thank you for your amazing work. You can really see from the children's faces that they're really benefiting from your work. So thank you so much, and I hope you can connect with our colleagues of the Women's Federation in Kenya as well. So thanks. So with, and we go to the last speaker of today. And we're very happy that Mr. Wadi Malouf is here again with us. Thank you so much for taking time. Mr. Wadi Malouf works at the UNODC as a program officer at the Prevention, Treatment and Rehabilitation section at Vienna headquarters. And he joined UNODC in 2006, first based in Cairo to support the health of the Middle East and North Africa. And since 2010, he's here in Vienna. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much for the World Federation for World Peace for furthermore highlighting the role of families not only in the Grand Commission but also in the Grand Commission. And I take this opportunity as well to reflect on the fact that there's a lot of things that have been already mentioned. I'll try to not to repeat what's been said, but really reflect on maybe add-ons in terms of why we find as UNODC through our person-centered approach, both on when we're working with drugs, when we're working on the crime, how is the family a common entity in terms of support and growth? For us, it's important. I mean, let's go in terms of when we talk about the culture of prevention, because when we talk about the symptoms happening, crime, drugs, trafficking, and you saw it from Timur's presentation. When we go and zoom in on terms of how to support the person that's being affected or being subject or vulnerable to these situations, that person-centered approach, if we're approaching it from a crime perspective, we talk about individual factors that the person have at different ages of development and the ecological layers around that person. Of course, there are, the family relationship, the school relationship, the wider context that these families in, because raising a child, you heard that, is challenging, but raising a child in the context of vulnerability, of displacement, of conflict, of violence is even more challenging. And the other larger context that's said, so addressing crime has this vulnerability matrix. Coincidentally, when we're addressing drug-related issues, we're looking at similar vulnerabilities. A person with different kind of reactive to stress, mental health characteristics, cognitive abilities at different and at a certain age has an influence that can be either amplified or made better by family influences, depending on the context the family is in, the school influences, the peer influences, and the context behind it. So these ecological layers are very common. So the home environment is key, is important. It is the most important because in any sort of other context, if you see it, the child is exposed to a certain number of years of exposure, may it be the school or other contexts, but within the family, there's a different context of genes, of history, and future together. So poor parenting effects are long-lasting. And good parenting skills are long-lasting to see. But when we talk about parenting in the context of violence and crime, we're not talking necessarily about the parents being police officers in the house. We're just talking about really the skills that are needed at a certain age of development, and that's why it's a skill. You don't have a parenting skill that is uniform because it has to evolve with the developing age of the child, and the children don't come with a manual of instruction to follow. So basically, you have to adapt to the characteristics of the child. And that's why parents do need that support, and these skills are key. We talk about how to warn, praise, listening, assertive discipline, global, help. You're looking at yourself as a parent. I mean, in theory, it's a very interesting context, but in practice, in the context that we're living in, it's a challenge, and you need to self-reflect in terms of how can I apply this. And that's why these skills can be acquired and trained on over and beyond your own skills. There are key characteristics for public health approaches. It's been described. I'm not going to describe it into more details, but I guide you also to look at the most recent WHO guidelines on parenting maltreatment that were issued a year and a half ago, where you can see the effect, the 5 recommendations in different contexts, in different ages of development that the parenting characteristic can provide. But given that a lot of things have been described, it's important to also separate a bit from the discussion in the perspective to mention the fact that not everything should be on the shoulders of the parents. Parents need a supportive system to allow proper parenting to be put in place. It's not only the parenting skills that are missing. And this is where UNODC is working on a systemic approach of dealing with these circumstances. How can this social institution function in a better way with a coordinated system of prevention of the different stakeholders understanding how parenting should apply, appreciating the social determinants of health, the commercial determinants of health that really allows this functional institution this social institution to be more functional. Maybe in the prevention of drugs, we have the Children Amplified Prevention Service, how we can amplify the prevention services we can apply that we have just launched during the Commission on Narcotic Drugs a couple of months ago, or through the Ending Violence Against Children strategy, where you see the commonality of the role of the family on both strategies, but also the systemic approach to this effect. So it's not a one institution that can solve it. It's a powerful institution that requires coordinated efforts to make it function. And I know time is limited, and I prefer to have a discussion. So I'd rather, add one more a piece of information that is actually from a publication that just was out 10 days ago. For a long period of time, in terms of implementation of our family skills, we mentioned the fact that parenting skills are important up to the age of when the child is in the mid-adolescence, up to age of 15, beyond which peers become more influential. But, the good parenting skills that we instill prior to the age of 15 can determine more or less the peer affiliation that you will have. While most recent publications that are starting to appear are reflecting the importance of the role of parenting beyond the age of 15. And I take the opportunity to read you, I mean, this publication from Ina Quinning from University of Amsterdam, where I will read the result as is because they're self-explanatory, but the publication is open source, where she followed up adolescents that are reaching the age of 18 and looking at parenting styles at the age of 18, where adolescents spending on average more than 1 hour per day with their parents in joint activities reported lower level of risk behavior, less peer pressure, more peer support, and more parental control, relatedness, and family support. At the same time, this does not seem to come at the expense of spending time with peers. So this is independent from the, the influence of the peers. As adolescents spending 1 hour or more with their parents did not spend less time with their peers. All the findings point out to the relevance of parents spending time and undertaking joint activities with their adolescents and children. So the effect of parenting that we're seeing can last for a much longer period and in terms of effect than we see. And this is in a European context. In context where, parents, even, the children are in the presence of the parent for a longer period of time, you can see the influence of this family institution beyond this and beyond what's been previously recognized as influential. So it is a powerful institution that requires empowerment. And I really hope that with our systemic approach, we can empower it more to do what's supposed to do without, in many instances, blaming it for being short of what they want. So I will leave it at that, but allow them for question and answer if they are. Thank you very much for this opportunity for highlighting it on this special day of the year special.
Thank you so much. And for the UNODC, the strong family units, that's for all of your work. So yes, it is time to almost the official end of this meeting because it's 2 minutes before 3. But yes, we're here in a room full of people. So if somebody would have questions, maybe we can take a few. Towards the people online, this time we're not given the opportunity to involve you in the questions and answers. We're very sorry, and we hope that next time perhaps have changed again. So, but please, if you have any questions, feel free to forward it to us and we try to connect you with the speakers. And so, yes, I don't know if anyone has a question here in the room to one of the speakers. I anyways want to, again, thank all the speakers here today. Let's give them a hand. Oh. Someone? A question for the UNODC or other workshop? No? Okay. If there are no burning questions, then we finalize our side event, and I wish you a very good commission. Thank you. Okay.